All right, let's jump right in. Today we're taking a deep dive into Dante's Inferno,
Oh, the
the first
Infernos.
part of his epic poem, The Divine Comedy. We're going to be following Dante as he journeys through hell, guided by, well, the poet Virgil. And we're working with excerpts from various cantos. And
Yeah.
honestly, just reading through them, uh, it's intense stuff. It's both thrilling and a little bit terrifying, to be honest.
Huh.
What's in store for us here?
Well, get ready because it's a journey that really sticks with you. Imagine like you're lost in this dark woods, sun setting, and you know you're about to enter the underworld. That's exactly where Dante finds himself right at the very beginning of the Inferno.
I don't think that's on my bucket list for vacations, but so Dante's scared, right? I mean, wouldn't you be?
Oh, he's absolutely terrified. He's lost his way, he's filled with doubt, and he even wonders if he's strong enough for this whole harrowing journey. But then, almost like an answer to his prayers, this Roman poet Virgil appears.
Wait, Virgil, like the guy who wrote the Aeneid, what's he doing in Dante's poem?
Well, that's the brilliance of Dante. He weaves in figures from classical literature, history, into his own Christian vision of the afterlife. It's amazing. So Virgil, he explains that he was sent by Beatrice, a woman Dante deeply admires, to guide him through this, well, terrifying realm.
Hold on, Beatrice. Who is she? Like, is guardian angel or something?
Oh, she's even more than that. Beatrice, she represents this divine love and grace in Dante's work, really a symbol of Dante's own spiritual aspirations. And her influence, it plays a crucial role in his, well, eventual salvation. But even in these early lines, you can see how Dante's setting up this idea of divine intervention, that grace can be found even in the darkest places.
Okay, I'm starting to see how layered this poem is. So Dante, with Virgil as his guide, takes the plunge into hell. And man, the descriptions he uses, they're so vivid, it's almost like you're right there with him.
Absolutely. Dante was a master of imagery, and he uses it to full effect in the Inferno. He talks about rivers of fire, a lake of ice, a forest where the souls of suicides are trapped in trees. It's beautiful and terrifying at the same time.
And each circle of hell, it's designed for a specific sin,
Okay.
like a custom-made punishment to fit the crime.
That's what's called contrapasso, the punishment reflecting the sin.
Hmm.
It's Dante's way of exploring this whole concept of divine justice.
Hmm.
And believe me, it gets intense.
So as they're descending deeper and deeper into this nightmarish landscape, they start running into some really, really memorable characters. I mean, one that really stuck with me was Francesca da Rimini, eternally trapped in a whirlwind with her lover, Paolo, as punishment for their, well, adulterous affair. It's so tragic.
Francesca's tale, it's heartbreaking. But it's a powerful example of how Dante uses individual stories to explore more universal themes. In this case, it's the power of desire, the consequences of giving in to temptation.
Makes you think
Yeah.
about how easily we can get swept away by our passions, and the choices we make, they can have lasting consequences.
Absolutely.
Then there's Pierre Delvine, this once powerful advisor who was falsely accused of treachery and driven to suicide. His story, it's hard to shake.
It really is. Pierre Delvigne, he represents the themes of betrayal and the corruption of power. He was a victim of these courtly intrigues, falsely accused, imprisoned. His story, it's a warning about the dangers of ambition and the fragility of human trust, especially in the political sphere.
Right. A reminder that even those in positions of power can be brought down by, deceit and injustice.
Absolutely.
And then there's Ugolino, imprisoned with his sons and left to starve. That's one of the most, I don't know, just disturbing scenes in the whole poem.
Oh, absolutely. Ugolino's story is truly horrific. Dante, he doesn't shy away from depicting the depths of human suffering. And this encounter, well, it's a prime example. Ugolino's descent into madness and his insatiable hunger for revenge, it's just disturbing.
Chilling reminder of the destructive power of vengeance and the depths of human cruelty. But it's not all just about individual sins and punishments, right?
Yeah.
Dante, he also uses his journey to comment on the political landscape of his time.
Absolutely. When Dante and Virgil encounter Sordello, another Italian poet, Dante launches into this passionate lament about the state of Italy. He criticizes the corruption, the violence, the lack of unity that was plaguing the country at the time.
So even in hell, Dante can't escape the political turmoil of his world. It's like he's using the Inferno as this platform to voice his frustrations and hopes for for a better future for Italy.
Exactly. Dante was deeply engaged in the politics of his day, and his personal experiences of exile and political persecution, they're woven throughout the entire Inferno. It's what makes the poem so compelling. It's not just a theological treatise on sin and punishment, it's a reflection on the human condition in all its complexity.
So far, we've seen fear, divine intervention, these vivid descriptions of, I don't know, unimaginable punishments, and even some pretty sharp political commentary. Where does Dante go from here? I'm almost afraid to ask.
Well, after navigating the depths of hell, Dante and Virgil, they finally emerge from the darkness. And they begin their ascent towards Mount Purgatory, a realm of hope and purification.
Thank goodness. After all that darkness and suffering, I think we could all use a bit of hope right now.
Oh, trust me, the shift in tone it's palpable. We go from this oppressive blackness of hell to the refreshing imagery of sunrise, angelic guardians, and the sounds of souls singing hymns of repentance. It's a much needed breath of fresh air.
Can't wait to explore this new realm with Dante
Yeah.
and see what, challenges and revelations await him on Mount Purgatory. But for now, let's just take a moment to let everything we've experienced in hell sink in. It's been quite a journey so far.
It has. So we're ascending Mount Purgatory with Dante now, and it's a completely different world than that oppressive darkness of hell.
Yeah, it feels like coming up for air after being, I don't know, submerged in icy water. What's it like there in Purgatory?
Well, picture this, like breathtaking sunrises, angelic guardians at the entrance, and you hear the sounds of, souls singing hymns of repentance. It's a place of hope. Souls are actively seeking purification, striving for redemption.
Definitely a welcome change of scenery after the intensity of hell.
Hmm.
So are there, does Dante encounter some interesting figures along the way?
Oh, absolutely. One of the first souls he meets is Manfred, the king of Sicily. He shares his story of dying in battle, but repenting at the last moment, which, well, allowed him entry into purgatory.
So even a last-minute change of heart can make a difference. That's, I don't know, kind of reassuring, actually.
It really highlights the power of repentance, even for those who may have led, a sinful life. But there's a catch to Manfred's story. He pleads with Dante to clear his name back in the world of the living, because, you see, he was excommunicated by the Pope.
Ah, so even in Purgatory, worldly concerns still linger. It's like it shows how connected our earthly lives are with our spiritual journeys.
Exactly. And it allows Dante to explore these complexities of political power and the potential for forgiveness, even for those who may have wielded authority unjustly.
The next encounter that I found really fascinating was Dante's meeting with Bonconte da Montefeltro, who also died in battle. But his death was, well, particularly dramatic, wasn't it?
Oh, incredibly so. Bonconte, he describes being fatally wounded, collapsing near a river as he lay dying. An angel and a devil appear, battling for his soul.
Wow, a cosmic tug-of-war for a man's eternal fate.
Ah.
So who wins?
The angel, ultimately. But it was a very close call. You see, Bonconte had led a sinful life, but in his final moments, he offered this single heartfelt prayer to the Virgin Mary.
So even the smallest act of contrition can have a profound impact.
Exactly. It emphasizes the importance of turning towards God, no matter how, late in life it might be. It's a powerful message of hope, the potential for divine grace to intervene even in the darkest circumstances.
These stories, they're so powerful. And then there's the encounter with Pia de Tolomei. Her story is so brief, but man, so heartbreaking.
It is. It's a story told in whispers and silences. Pia, she reveals very little about her life, only that she was from Siena and met an untimely end in Maremma, but there's this chilling implication that she was, murdered by her husband.
Leaves you wanting to know more. To uncover the truth behind her tragic fate. It speaks volumes about, I don't know, the vulnerability of women in that era and the often unspoken violence they endured.
Absolutely. It adds another layer to the themes of betrayal and injustice that we see throughout the Inferno. And it reminds us that purgatory is not just about, individual purification, but it's also about this reckoning with the sins of the world and the suffering that they inflict.
So as Dante continues his climb, what other transformations does he witness in Purgatory?
Well, one of the most striking aspects of purgatory is this shift from punishment to purgation. The souls here, they're not being tormented, but they're actively engaging in acts of repentance and self-reflection.
So it's more about, I don't know, like healing and growth
Yeah.
rather than eternal suffering.
Precisely. Dante, he describes the souls performing these various acts of penance, each each tailored to the specific sin that they need to overcome. For example, those who are proud in life are forced to walk bent over under these heavy weights, while those who are envious, they have their eyes sewn shut.
It's interesting how Dante connects these physical acts of penance with spiritual cleansing.
Hmm.
Like they're embodying their
Yeah.
sins in order to transcend them.
Right. It speaks to the idea that spiritual transformation, it's not just an abstract concept. It's something that requires this active effort, embodiment.
Mm.
Dante believed that true repentance, it involved confronting one's sins head on and actively working to change one's behavior.
That's a powerful message, one that resonates even today. So as Dante's witnessing these souls purging their sins, what what lessons is he taking to heart?
Well, one of the key lessons that emerges in Purgatory is this importance of choosing love over hate and forgiveness over vengeance. Dante encounters a group of souls who were victims of violence, yet instead of seeking revenge, they pray for the forgiveness of their killers.
That's a, I don't know, radical concept even in our modern times. Letting go of that anger and hatred, that takes immense strength and compassion.
It does. It's a testament to their spiritual growth. Their understanding that holding on to negativity, it'll only hinder their progress toward heaven.
I imagine Dante himself is wrestling with these ideas as he's witnessing the transformations happening all around him.
Oh, absolutely. Remember, Dante, he's on his own journey of purification. He's confronting his own sins, his own shortcomings, and these encounters, they serve as both guides and warnings as he navigates his own path towards redemption.
So this whole journey is like a giant mirror reflecting his own inner struggles.
Exactly. It's a process of self-discovery, spiritual awakening, where Dante, he's constantly challenged to confront his own flaws and strive for this higher level of consciousness.
It's amazing how he manages to weave together the personal, the political, and the spiritual so seamlessly. He's not just telling a story. He's exploring the very essence of what it means to be human.
He is, and he does it with such poetic brilliance and psychological depth. I mean, it's no wonder that the Inferno continues to captivate readers, centuries after it was written.
Speaking of, captivating encounters, I'm curious, who else does Dante meet along the way? Any other figures that stand out in Purgatory?
As Dante ascends higher, he encounters these two renowned poets, Winnicelli and Arnott Daniel, figures he deeply admired during his lifetime.
Wow. A chance to chat with his literary heroes. I bet Dante was, I don't know, thrilled.
Oh, absolutely. But these encounters, they're more than just, fanboy moments. Dante, he uses them to reflect on the nature of art.
Mhm.
Its ability to transcend time and space and its power to inspire and elevate the human spirit.
So even in a realm focused on spiritual purification, art still has value, still has significance.
Precisely. And for Dante, who was a poet himself, these encounters are a way for him to reaffirm his own commitment to the power of language and the enduring legacy that he hopes to leave behind.
Like he's seeking validation from his predecessors, but also finding inspiration to continue his own, creative journey.
Exactly. These encounters, they're a beautiful testament to the power of human creativity and the enduring connections that we forge through art.
So we've got hope, redemption, forgiveness, the transformative power of art, and this growing awareness of the interconnectedness of our lives. It seems like Dante is learning so much as he climbs this mountain of purification. What else awaits him as he gets closer to the summit?
Well, as he ascends higher, a figure emerges from Dante's past, Cacciaguida, an ancestor who offers insights into Dante's family history and delivers a prophecy about his future exile from Florence.
Well, prophecies always add a bit of intrigue. What does Cacciaguida foretell?
Well, he reveals that Dante will be forced to flee Florence due to political turmoil,
Huh?
the machinations of his enemies. He'll experience hardship, betrayal, and the bitterness of exile.
That doesn't sound very pleasant, but this prophecy, it must hold a deeper meaning, right?
Oh, absolutely. It reinforces this idea that Dante's journey through the afterlife, it's deeply entwined with his personal experiences and the political realities of his time.
So it's not just a random plot twist,
Yeah.
but like a way for Dante to connect his individual story with the larger historical narrative.
Exactly. Dante's journey, it's about his own spiritual purification, but it's also about bearing witness to the sins and struggles of his city, his country, and ultimately all of humanity.
It's incredible how he weaves all these layers of meaning together.
Yeah.
As he gets closer to the summit of Mount Purgatory, what What final transformations await him?
Well, as Dante approaches the peak, his journey, it takes on this more dreamlike quality. He experiences a series of visions that foreshadow his exile and the hardships that he's destined to face.
Sounds like things are getting pretty intense.
They are. But these visions, while unsettling, they also serve to strengthen Dante's resolve. He sees them as confirmation that his path is righteous, even if it's, fraught with difficulty.
Like he's steeling himself for the challenges ahead, knowing that his journey is far from over.
Exactly. He's embracing his destiny, even the painful parts, and that's a testament to his growing spiritual strength.
Okay, I think I need a moment to process all of this. Purgatory is proving to be just as thought-provoking as hell, but in a completely different way.
It is. It's a realm of profound transformation and self-discovery. And as Dante reaches the summit of Mount Purgatory, he'll experience this transition that's both breathtaking and awe-inspiring.
I can't wait to see what awaits him at the top, and I have a feeling it'll be this culmination of everything he's learned and experienced on his journey so far.
So Dante, he's journeyed through hell, climbed Mount Purgatory, he's seen unimaginable suffering, profound acts of repentance, and now he reaches the summit and steps into this realm of, well, breathtaking beauty, spiritual ecstasy.
I can only imagine after everything he's been through what that transition must feel like, what awaits him there at the top of Mount Purgatory.
He enters the earthly paradise. Think like Garden of Eden splendor, where earthly beauty meets divine grace. It's here he encounters a figure named Matilda.
Matilda, Is she another soul working her way towards heaven?
She's more than that. Matilda represents this active life of blessedness, like an earthly counterpart to Beatrice. Remember, Beatrice, she embodies divine love and grace.
Right, right.
Well, think of Matilda as a guide, preparing Dante for his ultimate reunion with Beatrice.
Okay, so what's Dante's experience like in this earthly paradise?
Well, Matilda leads him through this idyllic garden. He witnesses these symbolic processions, these pageants. They represent the triumph of the church, the virtues of faith, hope, and charity. It's a visual feast, really, of allegory and symbolism.
It sounds like the tone of the poem is shifting again pretty dramatically. We've moved away from the darkness and torment of hell and even the trials of purgatory into this realm of light and beauty.
Exactly. And as Dante draws closer to heaven, his language, it becomes even richer, more layered, filled with this vibrant imagery that evokes a sense of, well, spiritual ecstasy, the earthly paradise. It's a transitional space, a taste of the divine glory that awaits him.
So does he finally reunite with his beloved Beatrice in this paradise?
He does, and it's a moment of, well, profound emotional and spiritual significance. Imagine, you're overcome with awe and love as Beatrice appears, radiant, divine, surrounded by angels, bathed in heavenly light. Dante uses all his poetic skill to convey the sheer power and the beauty of this encounter.
Wow, after all this time, their reunion must be incredible.
It is. It's the culmination of everything Dante has been striving for throughout his entire journey. Beatrice, who represents his path to salvation, now becomes his guide through heaven, just like Virgil guided him through hell and purgatory.
So Beatrice takes over for Virgil, leading Dante toward this deeper understanding of God and the mysteries of the universe.
Exactly. She embodies divine wisdom and love, guiding him through the celestial realms as they ascend through these various spheres of heaven. Dante encounters, all these saints and angels, each representing different aspects of divine love and wisdom.
It's like he's getting this VIP tour of the cosmos, learning about the workings of the universe from the ultimate insiders.
Exactly. Dante grapples with these complex theological concepts. He explores the nature of time and eternity. And ultimately, he reaches this state of ecstatic union with God, described as this vision of blinding light and an overwhelming love.
That sounds like an experience it's almost impossible to put into words.
It is. Dante's attempt to describe his vision of God is one of the most, powerful and moving passages in all of literature. He's trying to articulate the ineffable, to capture the essence of transcendence and divine union.
So after all the trials, the tribulations, the darkness, the despair, Dante finally achieves this state of pure bliss, spiritual enlightenment.
Yes. And it's a reminder that even in the midst of our own, struggles and suffering, there's always this possibility of redemption and transcendence. Dante's journey it's a testament to the enduring power of hope, of faith, and the the human capacity for love and spiritual growth.
What an incredible deep dive this has been. I mean, we followed Dante from the fiery depths of hell to the sublime heights of heaven. What's the biggest takeaway here? What can we learn from Dante's epic adventure?
I think Dante's Inferno, it reminds us that life is a journey. And even when we're faced with, adversity and temptation, we have the power to choose our path, to seek forgiveness, to strive for a higher purpose. It's a call to self-reflection, to confront our inner demons and embrace the transformative power of love, of grace, and the pursuit of truth.
It's a message that resonates, even centuries after Dante wrote it.
Yeah.
As we wrap up our deep dive into the Inferno, I encourage you to consider, what lessons you can apply to your own life. What demons do you need to confront? What paths to redemption might you seek?
The journey, as Dante so powerfully illustrates, it's always ongoing.
And on that note, we conclude our exploration of Dante's Inferno. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into one of, well, literature's most enduring masterpieces.